Hey, what's up, man?
I just got my nails and hair done at the new mall. You know the one?
California Hair and Nail Salon. I'm going there next week to get my hair done.
Ready for the next car show?
No, I still gotta work on my motor chrome. Did you end up picking up my water from Bradburn?
God, that's even better. That's gorgeous.
Okay, perfect. And I wasn't sure whether to like wear these on Keith's birthday or to wear them to the car club.
The car club.
Yeah?
Yes. Oh my God, we should wear like matching outfits or something.
Oh my God. Okay, do you have anything that's like perfect?
I'm thinking about starting a car club.
Sounds like a good idea.
We could build the show car and race car that we've always wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be great. What do you even call it?
Happy tapping.
No, man, that's not good.
I'm kidding. Ventures Car Club.
Now that's better.
You know that tune, Walk Don't Run?
Oh yeah, man.
Well, I heard it over on the way. I think it could be a good name for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Hello, my name is Larry Hall. Yeah, that's a memorable day. We were cruising around town. Well, at that time, we were, most of us were car crazy, interested in cars and racing, etc. And there were a couple clubs in the area that definitely caught our attention. And we wanted to be as good or better than them and create our own product. So at that time, we had visions of putting out street rods. We were cruising around town in Guelph, myself, Case Dalderman, and Brian Conley, and got talking about car clubs and thought we should maybe start one of our own. So we, I believe at that point we went right over to Case's house, sat down and talked about it for about an hour or so, came up with some game plans, and then Case went off and tried to find us a place to, a building that we could operate out of.
I still need to install my motor chrome and adjust the carb. It's running just a bit too lean.
Sure, Larry, don't worry about it. I gotta do my brakes and my oil anyways.
I've got an old friend with a hot rod that wants to join the club. How many members do we have now?
I think we have 10 right now. I talked with the owner of this place. He said we need to move out. It's because he didn't think a repair shop would be here.
Look, we need a bigger place anyway. If we could find an old repair shop, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll ask around. Some of the members might know a repair shop we could use.
Case Dalderman, he was our entrepreneur of the day, quite the businessman, and he had contacts, so he decided to check with I don't know if it was a real estate company or whether it was just through an ad in the paper or whatever, but he found us a place on Woolwich Street, and it was near the 5 Points, and just an old, likely was an old driving shed or a coal shed or something from the past, and he managed to arrange that for us, and we had our first meeting. It turns out that I guess when Case was talking to the landlord, he forgot to mention we were a car club. I'm not sure what he thought we were, but when he found out we were a car club, we were without a building immediately.
No, I still gotta work on my motor chrome. Did you end up picking up my water pump from Bradburn?
There we were on the hunt again. We found a place just off Victoria Road near York Road. Another old shed. Not sure what it was originally, but it was right by the railway tracks behind the stove company. And we could put about 8, maybe 10 cars in there, plus it had the office area. It was a great little building.
Hey, what's up, man?
Whoa.
I'm so glad we got this place. It's got work bays and an office. What more do you need?
How cute is that? It has a kitchen and everything.
When can we have our first party?
Maybe after the car show next weekend. I still gotta install the engine into the hot rod.
Cool.
We found a place just off Victoria Road near York Road. Another old shed. Not sure what it was originally, but it was right by the railway tracks behind the stove company. And we could put about 8, maybe 10 cars in there, plus it had the office area. It was a great little building. And we stayed there for, I'm going to say it was maybe about 3 years.
We got a broken motor mount here.
Oh,
Do you have one?
yeah, I have a new one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Sugar.
Hey guys. Rob and Ted from College Heights, they want to join the car club. How many members do you have now?
Think about 32 members, including Keith's friends.
Wow. You guys might need to have a meeting to see where this club is going. It's getting pretty big.
Hey, Jane.
Yeah?
Have you seen Keith?
Oh, shoot, I meant to tell you. I stopped by his place this morning, and he said something about a connector rod blowing.
Connecting rod?
Yes, that's it. So he's gonna be late to the meeting.
Okay. Guess we'll start without him. Thank you all for coming. As you know, this club's at 32 members right now, and this place is getting way too small.
Bob Taylor decided it was not a bad idea to buy this Rockway transmission building out on Highway 7. Well, we were all pretty young, and none of us, of course, had any money to speak of. And so Bob came up with a game plan. He had a finance company in Guelph that he was quite familiar with, and convinced us that we should all go and borrow our money and we'd become shareholders.
All right, so I was talking with Bob, and Bob was talking with Murray Gervine at the bank, and he said that if we want to make this deal work, we need to put down 10% to make this deal. Anyone that puts down any money at all automatically becomes a shareholder of the Ventures Car Club. What I would suggest, if you need a loan, to go over to the Pacific and go see Murray.
I can't remember the exact amount, but it seems to me we all went and borrowed $100 each. I think there was something like, was it 27 or 37 of us by then.
Oh God. You know, I'm not really sure about this whole shareholder thing. I don't really know what it means.
Well, Larry said when you buy a building with more than one person, you own a share of that building.
Oh, okay. You know, I can't believe the guys have a place to work. And have parties.
And long story short, Bob got us in here, and we've been here ever since. Well, at that point, I think everybody was interested in building a car, either for racing or a street rod, etc. We had 2 or 3 fellows at that point that already had some street rods. The Tessero brothers is one name that comes to mind. And I think you'll find that most of us had big ambitions and a few of us maybe only had enough pocketbook to take care of it. A lot of cars were started, some weren't finished. Some were street cars at the time. It was getting into the late 60s, and the car companies were starting to build pretty fast cars, and there was really no need to build a hot rod anymore.
Okay, it's Terry Cooling, TC, as I'm known out here. I think it might have been Bob Taylor. When we were running the stock cars, he used to call me Top Cat, and then he shortened it up to TC. September 1963, just after the boys in the park put the deal together, what I would consider the founding members, Larry and Joe and Case in the park. And by the time I got around in early September, we'd moved over to the coal shed on Victoria Road. Although the space was limited there on Victoria Road, I think early on we had maybe 20 guys that I can recall, and more interest as things went along. People were coming and going and expressing interest in either putting in their names for membership or drifting away. Over the years, I've held every position on the membership executive, but my role has been just being a general member at large. Well, I'm currently treasurer. 63, I was member. Yeah, we had an executive group that I think we kept fairly consistent for about 4 years. Certainly, the 2.5 years that we're in the coal bin, and maybe another 1.5 years that we moved out here to Highway 7. Yeah, a set vision I couldn't really say. I mean, the vision was a bunch of like-minded guys getting together to work on cars and do car projects. And I mean, it has steadily evolved. It's become much more social than it ever was. I mean, in the early days, we were all pretty auto-centric and very, very focused on working on and maintaining vehicles and doing project cars. Guys would have 30s and 40s vehicles that they wanted to drop new engines in and make their hot rods. So, yeah, but early on, I mean, again, going back to Victoria Road, we really didn't have the facilities to do a lot of things that we can now. With a fully functioning hoist and all the tools and things that we have now, it's so much beyond where we were. There's a large social aspect of the club, and then there's another group of guys that constantly are working on their daily drivers and working on their project cars and really making use of the facilities. What my role, I think, has been over the years, it's just making sure that we're going on and maintaining and growing the membership. I mean, I think now we've got 30 members, and that's pretty well been a standard benchmark for where we wanted to be. My vision, I think collectively we did have an idea for when we moved out to the Highway 7 location here. We had some pretty big ideas about, maybe going up another floor in the building here and having a nice club room on the second floor. As it is, we opted to put a smaller addition out the back, which is really functioning as our club room right now. Lots of memories, maybe some that can't be repeated, but I could go on forever about things we did, the road trips we did, the drag strips we've gone to, and the road courses we've been on, and there's, to ask me to pigeonhole that into one or two things is really hard to say. I mean, over the years we've just had so many guys come and go through the club that it's hard for me to pick out one or two events and say, yeah, this was a real stellar moment. I've been in the club since September '63. It's changed over the years a number of times. It's changed, morphed into other things, and come back to what it is now. And currently, I consider it's as good an organization now as it's ever been, and kind of feels like the old days, in the '63, '64, early '70s era, where there was lots going on. People were coming out all the time, and doing the car club thing. I mean, the way the club has evolved over the years and morphed and changed and kind of come back together. It's a really organic kind of process, I think, that the club has taken over the years. I wouldn't say a lot of it's by design. It's just happened. And that might sound kind of flunky, but as things need to be done, we get them done. I mean, we do, we plan for certain social events, and we're as a club, we're not going to a lot of events as a club together like we did in, when we were all single in the '60s. We used to go to Autorama in Toronto, or drive down to Detroit and go to one of the car shows down there, and a bunch of us would pile in a car and drive up to Grand Bend. Just there doesn't seem to be as much as that happening now, but I think, and I might not be as clear about that, or I'm not sure what I'm looking for in terms of explaining it. Guys do, pull together, 2 or 3 guys say, listen, we're going to hop on the bikes and we're going to go and do something, or we're going to go to a swap meet. How many are in? So yeah, that still does happen. I think it's happening on a smaller scale than it might have in the past. Family life and getting people, pulled away in other directions for careers or family, chops into a lot of what we used to have. But that's the way it goes.
Hi there, my name is Dick Winan. I joined the car club in 1974. I was actually the recording secretary. I was also the financial secretary, and at one time I did a stint being the president. Yeah, I've always thought there's a great place for the younger people to come. We have had a lot of young gentlemen join us, and at one time we did have actually ladies join us, but I think they got a little bit out of hand. I've thought about this, and I know we've lost a lot of members that are gone already. And I would say there's probably about another maybe 15 left that were all members of the car club that really started it and was involved with buying this building and that.
Hi, my name's Rick Fitchett, proud member of the Ventures Car Club. I was introduced to the club in the 60s through multiple friends that worked at the factory. It was just the greatest club in Guelph. It still is the greatest club in Guelph. And in those days, you respected your elders, and my elders were in the Ventures Car Club. Great bunch of guys ever. 1966, I was quite blessed to have two gentlemen sponsor me. At the time, we were working at General Electric, and it was Mr. Dick Winan and Mr. Brian Conley. At the time, there was probably 6 members from the car club that worked at General Electric. When I joined the club, I had a 1961 Pontiac Parisienne, beautiful car. It was my pride ride at the time. Just to run with those guys. At the time, they all had Novas, Chevelles, Impala convertibles. We had just the best of those gentlemen being older than me. They were my heroes. They had nothing but beautiful cars, and it was a pleasure to be able to go to the drag strip with them, to go to cruise nights with them. They were my heroes, and a lot of them today that are still alive are still my heroes. In those days, I was just strictly a social member. Everybody that sat on the executive, from the president, vice president, recording secretary, and treasurer, were all gentlemen that have been in the club longer than me. They held positions, and they did an excellent job. I was just blessed to be a member. My vision now, since we come back, the club was leased out. I got a phone call in 1984, and we started the club back up. We've just done nothing but take the car club forward, both in the building and financially. Right now, we're blessed. We own everything under this roof. We're proud of the club. We're proud of how we keep it clean and keep it upgraded. And we're functioning quite well. We still have our annual poker run in the fall, which turns out fantastic. We do cruise nights. We've been known to donate money to local charities. It's just a great facility and a great bunch of people. We've got over 30 members. We're strong. We enjoy the club. And as always, in the past plus present, I'm a very proud member of this car club. Oh, going into the past, a lot of our members have passed on. We have a memorandum plaque in the club room. I have nothing but good memories of those gentlemen. We're fortunate to have some good photos. But when we go back in time as the club progresses, they were good old guys. They were just terrific people to chum with, run the roads with, have cars, and now we're looking towards the future of the car club. As we all know, the industry's going electric. The good old boys in this car club, myself included, we're always going to be combustion engine guys. We will live with electric when it gets here, but we're not in a hurry. I want to see the club progress into the future. I think the way we have it set up right now, the club's in good standing. The members are all great guys. We take an extreme, we go above and beyond to check each new member that comes in, and so far since '84 we've been blessed. We've had some great members, and today we've got just a fantastic bunch of guys. God bless all the members in the club, and going into the future, let's keep it strong. We can do this.
My name's Barry Bauer. I started with the club in 1966. I was approached by a friend of mine, Dick Winan, and he asked me to come out, and I joined the club. Well, in the past, I've been president, I've been vice president, I've been secretary, recording secretary, and do odd projects around the club when it needs to be done. like everybody else. I try to do my best. I didn't have a project when I started the club. That was 1966, but I started a project in 1997. I found it in a barn north of Guelph. And I pulled the engine out, cleaned it all up, put it all back together, put a whole new exhaust system on it with a walker system. And I had it totally restored and painted. And it looked beautiful when it was finished.
How did that go?
Went wonderful. I won the Mayor's Trophy in a car show downtown in Guelph with that car. First time I showed it. And I won a number of plaques at the Rockwood Car Show.
Very good.
What was your role in keeping the club operating past and present?
Well, in the past, I've been the president, I've been the vice president, and I've been recording secretary. I do many projects around the club that need to be done if I'm able to do it, and hopefully to make the club better.
Do you have a vision for the club in the future?
Well, my vision is hopefully that the car club keeps going as long as it can. I hope the new members that we have coming, hopefully, will take over and do as good a job as we have done in the past.
My name's Tom Mollison. I joined in January of 66, left in January of 77. Some friends of mine that were in the car club that I knew of, when I knew about the club, first knew about it, it was when it was on Victoria Road. I was there a couple times and talked about the club, and then I heard they were building this place, or buying this place from Rockway Transmission. So I decided to come out. So one of my friends sponsored me, and I can't remember which one right now. And I come out in January 66, beginning. It was a process, I think, of almost a month. And then you were elected in or out. Myself and another fellow at the same time, this Jimmy Davenport, who was quite known in the club here. And like I said, I stayed for 11 years, and Jim was here beyond that.
What type of projects did you have?
One time I bought a mini miner. I was going to get it running. Well, it just didn't work out that way, so I sold it. And the other project I had in the building was a Volkswagen platform, and I built a dune buggy, I guess you'd say, out of it. Welded in a roll bar and all that thing. It ran okay, and really didn't have any place to go with it, so a fellow wanted to buy it, so I sold it to him. And I bought an old Econoline van one time, but never came in the building. Couldn't get that son of a bee to run. I dragged it out to my father-in-law's place, worked on it there a little bit more, then stuck it out front with a for sale sign on it, and it was a really good place to sell cars.
Hello, I'm Mike McKillop. I've been in the club, since about 71, on and off. Left a few times, cost-wise, kids, and but came back, it's got to be about 5 years ago again. And yeah, it's been a great club over the years. Built lots of cars. I've lost count. I don't know what my first car was. I can't even remember anymore. But yeah, it was a great club. Is a good club. And members, well, we're all getting kind of old. And it'd be nice to see some young guys come out here and start getting into it. But I know a lot of young guys now, they're not really into cars. I mean, they get the little hot rods with the big fart cans on them, and little Civics and whatever you call them. But not too many guys build cars anymore. But we've got a few guys out here like to race. Right now, currently, I've got a Jeep CJ5 I bought from one of the guys from the club. And then I got a 03 Cobra that I track race. And yeah, so, but it's more like right now I enjoy the club more. I mean, a lot of it for the social part of it. We have lots of we have meetings once a month, and lots of social activities during the year. We used to have a really big car show every year. This is back in the 70s, and we would donate our money to muscular dystrophy. But we had a big car show down at the Legion every year, the Ventures Car car club show. And it was actually quite a show. Every year it got bigger and bigger. And we had the whole Legion opened up. The Guelph Correctional Center let us use our property for camping. And we had live bands, trophies. And I got my motorhome out back. We got a nice campground back there with a fire pit and barbecue. And, you know, you can kick back, grab a nap. Yeah, it's been good. There you go. If it doesn't go fast, prove it.
It's a good pot too. It's a nice one. I can feel that air over here.
Hello, my name's Ron Allen. 1993. I had a 85 Vega. No, sorry, 75 Vega wagon.
You sure?
Yes. It's been a while. I'm thinking that my role in keeping the club operating was I recruited a bunch of members and they recruited some more members and
Spilled off.
yeah, it was kind of a, it has it to where it is today. It will still be around in 30, 40, 50 years from now. That would be my ultimate vision.
My name is Ted Reynolds.
When did you start with the club?
It'd be the early 90s, about 92. I've been around close to 30 years.
What kind of project did you have when you started?
Actually, when I started, I didn't really have a project. I'd been doing different things, kind of off. And then Buddy Ronnie introduced me to the club and said, well, hey, you like the guys, you're mechanically inclined, see what you're doing. And a little while later, I started the big project. That was the old girl. That was the 59 International short box step-side pickup truck. I bought it out of Hamilton. It was stock. I lowered it, four-wheel disc brakes, independent front suspension, small block Ford. Now it's supercharged, interior, column, airbrush, painted. It's not perfect, but she's the old girl. Custom bumpers.
What was your role in keeping the club operating, past and present?
Well, past, just being a new member, doing your dues, clean up everything else, showing your worth, your commitment. And then years ago when they started it, they'd set up a group when they bought the building that everybody owned part of the car club, but it was never officially recognized by the government. So in the last, before COVID, so the last 5 or 6 years, I ended up taking on the role of making it an official nonprofit organization recognized by the government. No one person owns any of the car club. If the car club meets its demise, either lack of attendance, bills, whatever, it goes to a named charity that we can pick, and then it benefits them rather than one person cashing in on the sale of it. Well, the vision of the club, which started way back when the guys started it, yeah, the young kids, they just wanted a car club. And as they aged and it kept going, a lot of the members have been here a whole lot longer than I have. Didn't expect it to last 5 years, 10 years. Now it's going on and on and on. And when we went to the nonprofit, the vision is, well, car clubs are getting fewer and fewer, especially we're coming up to our 60th. So the main vision is just keep it going. They're the bricks and mortar are here, the structure's here. We just need members to say, hey, we got to keep it going, and hopefully it keeps going on way past me, and you know, there's other people who can benefit from the knowledge and everything else, just the opportunity of doing stuff like this.
Is there anything you'd like to say about past and present members?
Oh, past and present members. Well, out of the past members, I've seen pictures, I've met them, I've had limited contact, perhaps more than other people because of the whole nonprofit thing. But when you see some of the pictures, I'd like to have known them more because they built nice stuff that we're trying to reproduce with less knowledge, less computer stuff, less everything, and they built some nice stuff. And the current members, we always see people are willing to help, whether they're building or they have their knowledge. And what I'd like to see in future members is, hey, some of these electronic cars, the sport tuners and everything else, they're doing some stuff that are brutal compared to our stuff. Like, you know, Holly 4-barrel intake and headers and dual exhaust, you got a race car. Well, they're programming stuff that out of 4-cylinder, they're getting more horsepower than our big V8s did. And they weigh no more than a golf cart. So you can learn something from everybody.
There's lots coming up.
Oh, there has to be lots coming up. The old fuel area gas guzzlers, you can't afford them. You can't find them. And so they got, if you're going to hot rod something, back in the day, they hot rodded 4 or 5-year-old 57 Chevys. So, well, guess what? Now we don't have them. Now we have 4 or 5-year-old Genesis and new style Camaro, like my 2012. Like, you got to learn how to do it.
So the future's pretty bright.
Well, hopefully it is bright. Hopefully we get enough interest that they want to stick with it. The one thing with a lot of car clubs, everybody wants to join, everybody wants to work on stuff, but nobody wants to do the brick and mortar maintenance and, well, you got to pay dues. Well, if you don't have a garage, this works. You know, there's lights to be changed and cleaned, and you got to maintain it, and you got to have a core group to say, hey, you got to do this. You don't want to do it? Well, that's fine. You're not part of this because you're not long term. You walk in and you leave.
So the future definitely is for the young.
Oh, for sure. Like, as you know, I've 30 years. I'm 53 now. After you do all your young stuff, your body starts, you aches and pains. You're not crawling around out in the driveway in a snowstorm doing a tranny like you used to at 23. Families, homes, obligations, and you either figure out that, hey, I can't build something as nice as this that I can purchase. So I have the means now, I want to purchase one of them. I'll help anybody else, but I don't want to do all the hard work. And then if you let that base as they age, and unfortunately we have a large list of past members that have passed away, you need new ones to come up. Let them, even though they act like idiots, just as we did back in our 20s, let them figure it out. Let them continue on. And so it is bright. It's going to be complicated. Times are changing.
Hello, my name is Jay McFarlane. I became a member in 1995. Later on, I bought an older Mustang, of which I'm still working on. Since joining in 2004, I became the vice president, and in 2005, I became the treasurer. I was treasurer for 15 years, and after that, for 2 years, I was the recording secretary, and this year I am the vice president again. I'd like to see it continue on to the future as long as possible.
Hello, my name is Greg Betts.
Greg, when did you start the club?
2000.
Did you have a sponsor?
Yes, Rick Fitchett.
And did you have a project when you started the club?
Yeah, I just purchased a brand new 2000 F-150 Harley Davidson Edition Ford pickup.
So what kind of role did you play in the club?
Well, at the start, it was feel my way, but I was a recording secretary for the union at work, so I put in for the job recording secretary here. I did that for about 3 or 4 years, maybe more, I'm not sure. Recording secretary.
And that was all you did?
Pretty well. You got to help out around here. We have the cleanups and there's potlucks and poker runs and Christmas dues and stuff. Yeah.
So is your vision, what does it look like for the club?
Well, I always thought that we should allow females in, but it never seems to happen. The ones I talked to were auto mechanics working in garages. It might cause conflict amongst the members and their wives or whatever. Well, it's been great. Like, I can rhyme off, there's Rick Fitchett, Barry Bauer, Dick Winan, Joe Davies, myself. We all worked at General Electric 40 years plus, and they were members here before I was, but that's one of the reasons that I came out. I knew them, and it's just great. You got 24/7 access to the club. In fact, I used to come out here in the middle of the night to clean the truck. It was just great, just me turn on the radio and work away. Well, it's a camaraderie. And if you needed any help, you just ask somebody. It was just a great bunch of guys. And we even had a pretty steady Saturday card game, which was fun. A lot of kibitzing. Playing poker, but not for that much money.
My name is Kevin Coddington. I started this club in 2004. When I started the club, I had a 1984 Dodge Charger, 74 Charger. One of the projects that I finished at the club was a 1984 Dodge short box. Right now, I have a 1984 Rampage. In the past, I've served as vice president and social director, and I've done the poker run a couple years. And right now, I'm serving as a part-time social director, and I also do the scrap for the club. The vision is to keep it going, to get the members to apply themselves a little harder. It's a really good club, but it could be better.
Hi, my name is Mark Odding. I became a member of the car club in 2008, so mid-13s, 14 years. When I started the club, I had an 81 Cutlass that was actually a daily driver that I turned into a race car. The body kind of got away from me and ended up starting the Firebird. Well, I've been an active member. I try and do everything that a member needs to do. I was president for 1 year, but I make sure I attend as many functions and meetings as I can. Well, being an avid drag racer, car guy, that would really be my only wish, is to have more car type access. But unfortunately, we've discussed it as a group many times, limitations with the building, limitations with spots, access to the hoist. But all in all, it's a perfect fit for what I do.
All right, what is your name?
Mac Barr.
When did you start with the club?
2001.
So what type of project did you have when you started?
I didn't really have a project. I just owned a 1989 Chevy short box with the 350 and dual exhausts.
Well, that was a fun truck.
Oh, it was a fun truck, yes. got my last and only speeding ticket in that one.
So what was your role in the club operation, past and present?
Well, initially it was just being a good member, and but the last six years anyways, I've been social director, looking after the supplies for barbecues and various functions that we have.
Do you have a vision for the club for the future?
Not a vision as such, that it would just nice to keep it going, and new members, and I feel the club is not so much a working club as a social club, and so we try to keep that going. This year has been one of the best years we've had for a while for that, despite COVID.
Hello, my name is Rob Milne. I started with the club approximately 7 years ago. I had my 1975 MGB. It was a daily driver in the summer months, and as you can see it right now, it's under construction and still going strong. Just keeping up the general maintenance, anything that's got to be done, mowing the lawns, keeping the shop clean, keeping the clubhouse clean, and doing whatever is required. My vision for the club and what it could be, over the past year, we just became a non-profit organization, and I think we should spread out and do more for our community.
If I might add, the whole idea right from the start was to have a car club with good values. This wasn't going to be a rowdy bunch of street racers, although I got to admit there was a little bit of that took place as well. But we actually got involved with the community in some ways, working with the police actually, just showing them that we were interested in being a good member of the community, and it turned out that way, and it's lasted because of the good roots, I would say. Yeah, there's some names here that when you go back to the original group, I would say within the first 10 years when I was active. After that, I pretty much was just a shareholder and popping out once in a while and going to social events. But there were a group of fellows that I would like to make sure are not forgotten. And well, each right off the bat, there was the original members that put it all together. And it wasn't just those first three on that Sunday afternoon, but people like Case Dalderman, Brian Conley, Earl Villette. We had Terry Cooling, Joe Bites, Dick Winan, Bob Plackholm, Armin Rickey, Dave Rickey, Ken Bites, Bob Taylor, Jim Davenport, Ted Mandel, the Duke, Bill Allen, Bob Smith, Joe Taz, Fred Kennard, Fred Gatza, the Tessero brothers, Frank McColman, Keith Seepers, Les Hunter, Steve Purchase, Tim Mollison, Bob Curtis, and then Keith Densmore and Rick Fidget really were the ones I would say that really stuck with it and became the backbone. As far as I'm concerned, they became the backbone of this club. And the work that they put into it is immense. There are others, of course, and being more just a shareholder during their period of time rather than an active club member, I don't have a lot of stories to come up with, but I do know the effort they put in was amazing and need to be commended for that. And the originals, you know, the first 10 or 12 people that started the club, I think set the base for what the club was going to be in the future, what the standards were, and proud to have been a part of it, and really pleased to see that now the shareholders have stepped aside, and the club itself, which has certainly proven itself, is now the sole owners of the club, and I understand now we are a non-profit charitable group at this point, and that's pleases me more than anything.
Thank you.